Golden Knights having great success so far this year. Does that put any pressure on you guys to succeed in this
Who are the
year?
Golden Knights? No, only pressure is that the sniping of people saying you got to do as good as them.
It's just good. Vegas is treating us well, and I think the record doesn't show how hard that we work, and it's tough in that way, but it's good for us in the inner circle to understand what we have going on in Vegas, and if we just continue to trust and believe in each other, the sky's the limit for this team, and I'm blessed to be a part of it.
Our expectations maybe at the start of the season were a little unrealistic.
Man, we're not even worrying about the playoffs right now. What we do is we take it week by week. We gotta worry about next week. You start looking ahead and you start looking over people, you might not even make it. So
that being said, to me, Urban Meyer is one of the lowest pieces of garbage there is on this earth.
You are tuned in to Straight Bet Sports, live on the Gorilla Cross Radio Network.
Wednesday night. Shout out to everybody chiming in already on social media, man. People going crazy tonight. This week has just been busy. Crazy weather this week, a little bit chilly out there, windy as heck, man. I was out at the ballpark last night with Evan and a couple other people. Windy as hell, man. Freaking allergies going crazy and all that. But we're in the studio now. We're away from the wind. We're chilling. We're relaxing. We got the Golden Knights up on the screen, even though they're not doing that good, Ian. We got some NBA action up there as well. But we got a fun show, man. Are you excited? Are you ready? Is that a new hat, by the way?
It is.
Because I'm like, wait a minute. I don't see the regular Eagle hat.
I'm glad that you recognize it. Yeah, my wife got it, and I love it. Looks
Shout out
fresh,
to the wifey for getting you a new hat.
Yeah.
No offense, I'm just
nice,
saying.
You know, I cut up my beard a little bit. Looked nice. Yeah.
Had to clean it up, definitely. You ready for
wear
tonight?
a hat, you know, because I'm bald.
You had to do that on camera. Anyways, you good though, my man? You ready for tonight?
I am ready.
You excited for tonight's show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we got quite a show for our audience, and it's going to be a great one.
We got a repeat guest, man. Obviously, your first time with him. Obviously, last time we had him in the studio on the show, it was me and Rob, and we had this young man on through video. This was literally in the beginning part of Straight Bet Sports, almost 2 years ago, which is crazy. So it's good to finally have him back on the show, but have him in studio with us tonight. You know, when you have a guest in studio, it's a whole lot more fun. You get to chop it up, a lot more relaxation and have the conversation. So we're going to do that tonight, man. But before we do so, obviously, you already know what it is. I'm going to do what I do every single week, right, Ian? I sound like a broken record. I'm going to do and I'm going to ask what I do every single week. We are coming to you live right now on the Gorilla Cross Radio Network here from downtown Las Vegas, Nevada. If you haven't already done so, do me a favor. Go on your Google Play Store if you have an Android like Ian. Go on your Apple Play Store if you got an Apple phone like almost everyone else, like you should. No, I'm just kidding, man. You know, always I give you a hard time for having an Android. But Android or Apple Store, whatever it is, download the Gorilla Cross app. You can find all of our content on there. And of course, any other shows that are on there that you want to enjoy, please do so. And GorillaCross.com as well. We are also live on all Gorilla Cross radio platforms. What I mean by that, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, search Gorilla Cross. We are currently live right now, so we would greatly appreciate if you could drop a comment, drop a like, drop a share, and you already know what it is. We'll go from there. But Ian, before we move on and start off with our show and introduce the guest that we got in studio, I got to give a big shout out to someone that's in the studio tonight that's been coming in, man, since we started hanging out with this guy, and also when we have guests in the studio, right? And he's doing a lot more for us and for himself away from the show with us, so that's gonna be fun, man. We got a lot more coming up. But he is Evan Guerra of Drumline AV up in the studio with us, taking some pictures tonight. He was also at LV Ballpark last night, his first action at the AAA Aviators game. So we're gonna get him out there to a lot more events. But Evan, we greatly appreciate you, my man. But got to give some shout outs to some people on social media already chiming in. Obviously, Joseph Michaels, he already says, shout out to the guys, Straight Bet Sports. We always appreciate them. And everybody else on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is, if you're chiming in, chime in. Drop the comments. We're going to try to get to as many as we can. Our guest tonight has already told me he's cool. He's ready to take questions if you want. All we ask is that you be respectful. Don't come on here and try to disrespect anyone. That's not what we're about. We're here to talk. We're here to have a conversation. If you got some questions that you may want some answers to, hit us up, man. Drop the comments. We'll try to read as many as we can. If you want to give us a call, you can call us. Make it brief. 702-608-3259 is also the number. But with all of that being said, who pays our bills? You already know who he is. He is Joshua LaFon. Joshua LaFon with Simply Vegas Real Estate, a realtor here to help educate current and future Las Vegas locals on selling and investing in real estate. You're probably asking yourself, educate. Yes, there's a surprising amount of adults that when it comes to real estate, don't know the right questions to ask, don't know where to start, and think they need a lot of cash to buy a house in Nevada, which simply isn't true. So Josh has decided to make it his responsibility to teach his clients what they need to know, and equally important, what they need to ask to help ensure making their home ownership dreams a true reality. So make sure you call or text Joshua LaFon today at 702-813-0533. This has been another paid advertisement from Joshua LaFon with Simply Vegas Real Estate. Make sure you give him a call, 702-813-0533. That's right, man. Joshua LaFon with Simply Vegas Real Estate, the LaFon Group hooking us up here on Straight Bet Sports. Thanks to him. We've been on the radio here almost 2 years, man. Going on 2 years. It's amazing. Love Gorilla Cross. I say it every single week, man. I'm happy that we're here. I love the platform that we have. It's different. It's new. It's not what you see anywhere else. And it's a whole different type of radio station. But with that being said, Ian, are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah. So before we introduce our guests, I was going back and forth with this all day, the last couple days, because I didn't want to make this an interview. I didn't want to make this scripted or whatever you want to call it, right? I wanted to have a normal conversation. There's a lot of things that obviously need to be asked or want to ask, and we also have questions from other people that just want some answers as fans, you know? So with that being said, let's go ahead and introduce our guest. He is live in studio with us tonight, making his second appearance on the show. He is current UNLV student and former Runnin Rebel, Marvin Coleman. Appreciate you, my guy. How you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
How's it going, Marvin?
How you doing? Thank you for having me.
You good, my guy?
Solid.
Got loosened up.
I know you just came from the gym, so you already stretched out.
For sure, always. As you know, it's been a minute since I've been in the studio, so
Gotcha.
I got to get used to it. Turn me up in the headphones a little bit, But thank you for having me.
Of course, my man. So we appreciate you coming in the studio, and not only that, just appreciate you giving us a moment of your time. You're gonna hang out with us for the whole show tonight, so we appreciate that. You're gonna be here for the whole 2 hours. We have a lot to talk about with you, not just basketball, but just sports in general. We want to have a conversation with you and just chop it up. But I don't want to just go straight to certain questions, obviously, which we can get down later that when it comes to the show. But aside from basketball, real quick, how have you been overall in your personal life before we get into basketball and UNLV and all that? How have you been in the last couple of weeks, last couple of months in your personal life and just you yourself as an individual?
I would say I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a great support system, great family. I come from a good home, so really just being able to take time away from basketball, I haven't really been able to do that ever. I've been playing basketball since I was 5 years old, and it's what I do. I eat, sleep, breathe basketball. So being able to take some time away, really, reflect, find myself, fine-tune other things in life, be able to hang out with my mom, my little brothers, my sister, connect more with my family. That's been a blessing, honestly.
That's what's up, man. So mental. Talk to me about that, because the reason I ask this is because there's a lot of athletes that go through a lot of mental stuff because it's tough when you're an athlete, right?
Sure.
It's not just, hey, go out there, dribble the ball, play the game, and call it a day.
Sure.
There's a lot more because people have stuff going on in their personal life.
For sure.
Look at Ben Simmons. He's been criticized so much for not wanting to play, yet the dude went through a tragedy.
For sure.
And his mental health just wasn't there, but yet people don't want to talk about that. How has your mental stability and your mental health been with this season? Because I know it was a tough one for you.
I'm gonna be real. This season was tough. Being up and down. I won't get into too much detail with it, but I was in a dark place, but I got out of it, just like everybody. But with sports and life, you just have to get up. You got to keep fighting.
Definitely.
I'm a firm believer in that. So since I was a kid, I'm always that type of guy that I'm just gonna work. I'm gonna work. When I was a freshman, high school, middle school, I'm just working. I'm waking up at 5 a.m., getting in the gym, doing stuff like that. And I think, my mom instilled that into me, but, without my mom, you got to want it for yourself. I've always had that dog inside of me. No matter what, even my sophomore year when I had a triple-double, everything, still, get back to work. I think that's a huge part in, not just basketball, but life, as a businessman. If you're going to go to work, you can't walk in sluggish. You can't walk in like, oh, I don't want to be here today, because that's going to, your team, whoever you're working with, that's going to, reflect on them.
Yep.
As a leader, just in, not obviously on the basketball court, but I'm a big brother, a leader of the community, things like that. I have to, no matter what, I have to show my best image every day, So I try to instill that. So when I went to college, I wanted to study mental health,
Okay.
So I graduated with the human services degree. So the mental aspect of it, it's huge. Like you said, you talk to psychologists, you talk to guys, you hear guys, stories and stuff like that. And it's huge. Like, you can mentally take someone out of a game. I've done it before. You've seen it before. Like you said, Ben Simmons, it's tough. And I think one thing that the fans really fail to realize is that at the end of the day, athletes are people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You see the slogans
Human beings.
more than an athlete.
Yeah.
So obviously what we do on the court, what we do on the field, everything like that, that's important. But if we don't, mentally, if you're not really focused and locked in, you can't perform.
You talked about having the support system with you. You got someone in the studio tonight.
For sure.
You hit me up and you're like, hey, is it cool if Mom's comes through? I'm like,
sure.
without a doubt, of course. Give your mom a little bit of a shout out.
Shout out to my mom, Nicole Martinez. She's been there since, obviously, I came out of her womb.
This is day one.
Yeah, like I got it tatted on me, all from my 4. That's everything to me. I have 2 little brothers, Nicholas and Noah. They're at home. Hopefully they're watching. My big sister Mariah, shout out to her too, because they're everything I have.
Definitely.
To be honest, last year too, when I had surgery, it was tough. I've never been away from basketball ever. I broke my ankle in high school. That was something small, but having 2 major surgeries and everything. But that was why I stayed home. I wanted to be by my family. Obviously, that was a huge reason. So, my mom being here, she's my biggest support. She's my backbone, honestly. I would do anything for my mom. So
can you take us a little bit through like that rehab process, just because
sure.
you have had some since high school and in college? I mean, you were a star at Foothill
for sure,
and then obviously the ankle.
I honestly, I wouldn't recommend what I did in high school. So I broke my ankle. We were playing in the Maui Invitational. It was actually, the Maui Invitational that they played college basketball. I played on that court as a sophomore in high school. My coach, Kevin Soares, shout out to him. He just beat Gorman. He won a state championship, first one ever. So congratulations to Liberty and what they did there. But so it was the last game of the tournament. We were in 22. I remember like it was yesterday. We were 2-2-1. I was the back guy. And I shifted over, tried to get a steal, and dude hit my left hip. And I fell, rolled my ankle, and I couldn't get up. Like, it was like I stood up, and I was like, whoa, ran over to the trainer. And it was an intense game. We were 0-3 in the tournament. So it was the last game. It was like, bro, I got to go home with a win. So I ran over, they carried me over to, obviously I was a star at Foothill, but so that was a big piece. But we had other guys there that year. So I was only a sophomore, but I was a big piece of it. So they carried me over to to the athletic trainer. I'm, obviously holding the jersey, crying. But I was mad at the athletic trainer. I'm like, yo, tape it back up. Let me get back in the game.
Yeah.
And she couldn't even move it. And when you roll your ankle, you're not supposed to take your shoe off. So she started trying to take my shoe off. I'm, yo, stop.
Give me a minute.
And they were just like, I couldn't play anymore. So, but it was crazy. My mom, she was a little upset. We were in Hawaii for 4 more days.
Okay.
So I was walking on it. It got it was swollen. I have a picture of it. It was as big as a tennis ball.
Yikes.
But obviously, I was resting at ice and I couldn't go to the beach with the guys, stuff like that.
And this was a high school tournament, though,
high
right?
School.
Okay,
so I was a sophomore year. I was a sophomore in high school. So I walked on it for 4 days. I'm a tough kid. It was whatever.
Yeah.
I got home. Moms took me to the hospital, and they said it was broken. So they put me in a cast for a month. And the day I got it off. I got it off before school. I made my mom go get me an ankle brace. I put an ankle brace and I worked out after school. And my first game back, I still have the newspaper. We played El Dorado.
Okay.
And obviously I think I had 21 or 23, but I made free throws. It wasn't the El Dorado.
Gotta make your free throws.
They had a kid. His name. I remember his last. I just saw him in the gym the other day, but he was tough. A senior point guard. So my to answer your question, my recovery process in high school, I literally got my boot off. They put me in a cast. I was in there for 4 weeks. I got back in right after.
Yeah.
So that was the only surgery, knock on wood. I mean, ever break anything I've ever had. I've, rolled my ankle, hurt my fingers, but that was it. So then junior year, obviously I battled stress fractures or whatever, but sophomore year, I was just tough kid. I played through it. So sophomore year going into junior year, I did a lot of recovery. The team at UNLV, I did a lot of things. And Scott Pensevere, I'm wearing this shirt right now. He's one of the best in the business. So I was with him a lot during the summer, just rehabbing, getting my legs stronger. That was it. I mean, like my legs are big, the fans and stuff. You can see my legs. So I don't really like working on legs, because it's just
they're there.
They're there. Yeah. So, but I did a lot of rehab, a lot of calf raises, conditioning on my legs. So I thought I was fine. So it was my left shin. I always wore the left shin pad and everything. Then junior year, COVID, obviously, that was tough. So then my right shin, they said I had a stress fracture in that one. So I was like, dang, it was kind of tough, like mentally, because it was like I did everything to make my left one good. My left one got better. Then I guess I was just overcompensating on my right.
Yeah.
So then boom, I was out last year. I had the same surgery Paul George had when he fractured his. So I had that surgery.
You're talking about the fracture he had here in Vegas for the USA
with
team?
USA team. Mine wasn't as bad. They were telling me if I kept playing, it was going to be like Kevin Ware, Paul George.
Gotcha.
So that's why I was out for the season.
Okay.
And then I had surgery. I was, battling every day because I've never been away from basketball. And, even me and my mom, we were going through it because she was telling me I shouldn't have it, stuff like that. But, like, at the end of the day, it's my decision. Yeah. I'm, my own person. So I trust God. I prayed. And, everything came out fine. So I feel healthy. Legs are healthy. I'm ready to go. So credit to the surgeon, credit to the staff. Now I'm just, keeping my body right, doing all the right things, eating healthy, getting the right maintenance, stuff like that.
Making sure you're taken care of. Once again, you are tuning to Straight Bet Sports live here on the Gorilla Cross Radio Network. Jose V, EMB, Quan59 up in the studio with our guest, Marvin Coleman the second, correct? I want to make sure
Marvin Coleman the second.
Gotta throw that out there. Don't want to mess anything up. But let's talk some basketball now. Let's talk a little bit about your collegiate career, right? So I want to start off from the beginning. Marvin Menzies, right? Yeah. You had 1 year with Marvin. You and I had this conversation earlier because I had to make sure I was clear on my stats here. But Marvin Menzies, right? That was, I believe, the year you walked on because you didn't have a scholarship
2018,
yet.
2019.
Talk about that experience with Marvin. How was that?
It was a learning experience. It was great. Coach Menzies, I still talk to him to this day. He's like, he was my first college coach.
Correct.
So obviously I learned a lot from him and the staff, Eric Brown, Andre LaFleur, Preston. I learned a lot from them. And, our seniors, Chris Clyburn, Shakur Juice, and Noah about them. Like, I still talk to Chris every now and then. Gotcha. Like, I tap in with him. But obviously it was tough for me. I've never sat the bench. From 5 to 18, I never sat. I was just a freshman in high school. I was getting minutes. So that was tough, especially me being from the city. I'm going back to my high school games. I'm walking, I was already known in the city just because I'm born and raised in Vegas, but then I'm playing for my hometown school. Now there's more people who know me that I don't know. So obviously that was a, learning curve for me because it was like, yo, this is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, really the only thing that I would say that changed from high school is the speed and strength. Okay. So like that was, I had to get used to that. But going every day, we had a good freshman class. Obviously Bryce Hamilton, that's my best friend. Trey Woodbury, Jonathan, Joel. We had a good freshman class, so it was easy to,
gel with
everyone. So I wasn't the only one playing. Like I'm a team guy, so it doesn't I was still happy. I was living out my dream. My dream was to play Division I basketball.
And you made it.
So I made it. So that was a blessing. So I couldn't wake up and not be I could be upset because I wasn't playing, but at the end of the day, I was blessed. I was doing something that not a lot of kids get to do. So I just, I give a lot of credit to Coach Menzies because he brought me in. He didn't lie to me. He didn't do anything. Like, he told me straight up, like, Marvin, we got Noah, we got Amari. Like, you're going to have to, figure it out. So those guys helped me a lot, mature as a player. And then, I can go on and on about my freshman year. It was fun.
I got you. Definitely first time you get into college, so you got to be ready for that.
For sure.
Now, after that, you had TJ. You had TJ, which a lot of people were upset because they said he took this job as a stepping stool, right? I mean, obviously everyone has their opinion when it comes to that, but you shined under TJ. It just seemed like TJ took you under his wing in a way, if you want to call it that, and was like, I like this kid. This kid can ball, and he saw the confidence in you, and he showed confidence in you to allow you to be that guy. Last triple-double, the first one in 20-plus years, I believe it was.
And what's crazy? I actually met Mark Dickel like a month ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
11 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists.
Yep.
January 18, 2020 versus New Mexico.
Yeah.
This all ties back with the whole TJ Otzelberger situation.
For sure.
Talk about your time with TJ. How was that? And Was it because of him, you would say, instilling that confidence that we got you and you got us, that you were able to come out and have a triple-double? You know what I mean? Was that something about that?
I would, obviously I trust myself and my work. I'm not going to give anybody the most credit. I give credit to God first. You know what I'm saying? Like, without him, I wake up every single day.
Definitely.
And then, myself, I put a lot of, pressure on myself to perform every single day. Like, I play for my city. Like, that's what I tell people at the end of the day, like, because I play for 3 coaches, TJ, Menzies, TJ, and Krug. So, But at the end of the day, I play for my city. I play for the kids who don't have anything. I play for the kids who, want to wake, I play for my family.
Definitely.
My little brothers look up to me. But I would say a big factor was my teammates. Eli Michu Long, I still talk to him to this day. He's my, my big brother. He helped me get through sophomore year. Cause I told TJ straight up, I said, Coach, I'll go to a JUCO. And he told me, Marvin, I want you here. So that was big.
Wow.
Because like, I remember the day, like I literally remember it. It was March Madness. The guys, we were all it was when he first got the job. It was the second time we met him. And he told me he was going to put me on scholarship, and I gave him a hug. I started crying.
Nice.
And I called my mom because it was like, freshman year was hard for her to pay for my school and everything. So that was just a blessing.
Hard work paid off.
Obviously, TJ will always have a special place in my heart just for, the hardships that he relieved from my family. Yep. But I give the credit to my teammates, honestly. The staff was great. TJ, Slope, Buck, and Krug, but I give the credit to my teammates. We had a lot of older guys that year. Jonah Antonio, Amari, David Jenkins, he was a red shirt, but, he did his thing during practice. So each and every day we battled, and that really shows. Like, I'm a firm believer what you do every day, it leads you into what it, so we're going to war in practice every single day. There was no day that we didn't, go at it, besides like the days before the shoot around. And even then they were locked in. So Eli, he came from Texas. He was a 5th-year guy. He, I obviously took a lot of pride in it because it's my city and I'm a point guard as well. But he took me under his wing. He's like, Marv, yo, this is what we do, this and that. And I already had that, So when everybody came, I'm telling them like, yo, this is what we do at UNLV. Yeah. But, they already know the culture. They were older, so it was easy for us to gel. So that year, the youngest guys on this team were me and Bryce. And it was, our team. We're the only ones from
the original squad.
Original guys. And Mbake, that's my guy. Mbake Jones, my bad, bro. Mbake, if you tuned in, bro, I apologize. But
isn't he on the staff right now? Is it?
No, that's Shekna. Shekna
okay,
Dembele.
God, Dembele. That's right.
Mbake played at Central Florida this year. Okay. He had a decent year, but I think it was just I give all the credit to my teammates. Like even when I had a triple-double, that next interview, Bryce had 35 points that game. I think Amari had 21. Nick Blair played phenomenal.
Yeah, I remember Nick. Yeah.
I think that team that year, I truly believe if Eli didn't get hurt, we would have played in the tournament. I'm not gonna if, ands, or buts, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Like we still should have beat Boise that game, but we had a good team that year. Obviously, not even the triple-double. We beat San Diego State when they were number 4 in the country.
Yeah.
We went to the pit, fought hard at the pit, beat them at the pit. So I would say, like, obviously it's a credit to myself and my work, but my teammates helped a lot.
Well, it's funny you bring up the San Diego State game, so I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit. And I'm going to look for the tweet because I posted it out. That night before you guys played, I tweeted out, I go, here's a thought. UNLV beat San Diego State tonight with the little hands, and then you guys went out and beat them.
Bro, that was tough. That game, okay, I'm going to be real. Like, whoever's watching, like, I'm sorry if San Diego State fans, but look, they disrespected us, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't disrespect. Obviously, they have to give credit to, what happened, but, like, before the game, national anthem, like, bro, they were having a hell of a season, 26-0. That's tough, for a Mountain West team to do. They beat a lot of Power 5 teams, and they beat us at our home court. And I felt like that was a slap in the face. You don't lose at home. So, obviously, that we know how that happened. So, we really, like, I know myself personally, like, I take that stuff personal. Like, you're not going to come to my city and beat us.
Yep.
So it was like, I don't care that they're 26-0. We're going and getting our get back, right? Before the game, Matt Mitchell, hell of a player. I hope he's doing good. They retired. That was just 1,000 points or something.
Okay.
And they did their conference banner before the conference was even over.
Oh my God.
So the national anthem, obviously I'm saying my prayer, but I'm like, yo, they got a big storm coming, because I felt like they were looking over us, and the better team won that day. Like, put it, whatever. That was a hell of a season. They had credit to Malachi, their point guard, Brian Dutcher. He's a great coach, but I really truly believe that we deserved that win. You know, we fought hard, we had a great team, and we went in there, we handled business. Now that atmosphere,
Yeah.
I think that might be the funnest game I've ever played in.
Okay.
Honestly. Their crowd, bro, they sold it out. And I was telling one of my homeboys about this the other day. It was like a boxing match, right? In the Aztec Arena, they had like the whole crowd was blacked out, and it was tough, bro. And then during warm-ups,
You mean like lights? They blacked everything out?
like everything was blacked out, and it's just straight court, right?
Like the old forum back in the day.
And
with the
then,
Lakers.
and then during warm-ups, it was low-key scary. I ain't gonna lie, it was tough. But they had the music on, and then you know the song, "In this way." They put that song on, and everyone turned their flashlight on, and the flashlights were moving.
And this was pregame.
This is pregame. I'm sitting there like I was saying my prayer, and I'm like, whoa. Like, you know, like it was like one of those moments. Like, that's what, and like the ground was shaking. Like that's what you dream about when you're a kid. So I was sitting there like, yo, this is really happening, you know? So that was tough. Like that was tough for sure.
That's what's up. So you've obviously now 3 coaches, right? What is the culture that you feel is moving into UNLV, and what is there anything about Kruger's way of coaching that you really like?
I really like Kruger. He's very laid back. You know, he obviously brought a group of talent in this year, so we had guys who could do it all. Not everyone has a Bryce Hamilton on their team, so obviously the ball was in his hands as much as possible, and as he should. He deserves that. So Krug, he let us rock. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot, just kind of like TJ did, but within a system. Like he's very smart, very educated. He's, you know, obviously his dad, Lon Kruger, is a Hall of Famer. So Krug knows what he's doing. I wish UNLV the best of luck. Like I'm from Las Vegas. I hope they do great. Keyshawn Gilbert's my little brother. So I'm, you know, winging on him. Hopefully he has a great year. All the guys, Jordan, Vic, whoever stays, like I really hope they're having a good year. They're in good hands. Coach Kruger, Coach Hartman just left, but I have full faith that they'll regroup, and I hope to see them do well.
Once again, you're tuning to Straight Bet Sports live here on the Gorilla Cross Radio Network. We have Marvin Coleman II up in the studio with us tonight, talking some basketball, life, and some UNLV basketball as well. So Ian kind of beat me to it. I was trying to, you know, wait till a little bit later, but UNLV, right? Obviously, you talked about Kevin. Before the question, you also talked about it outside with me, and you had nothing but good things to say about Kevin. You didn't talk down upon him, obviously. But I'm not sure how you feel about this, but it's been asked to me for the last 3 days, bro. And before that, obviously, before we even mentioned we're going to have you on the show, are you okay with actually mentioning what happened, or are you also in the dark and don't know what happened this season? Because you disappeared, you know what I mean? And in a lot of people's eyes, people are like, where did Marvin go? What happened? And not because they're trying to be nosy or talk bad about you, but because there's a lot of people that truly care about you, not just as an athlete for UNLV, but as an individual. And I've had tons of people reach out to me since Monday when I posted and you and I talked that we're gonna have you on the show. You know what I mean? So what was it, if there's anything that you can tell us? Because there's a lot of people that are in the dark about this. And you know what I mean? Like, was it something that you did or said that kind of got people upset, or to this day, are you also in the dark?
I would say there's a little bit of both. But I think the biggest thing for me, I had deaths in my family.
Okay.
So obviously that was tough. So I had a lot. I was going through a lot, but basketball has always been my outlet. Okay. So one of my uncles passed away in August, and another one of my uncles passed away in February. And I really don't feel I got the support that I needed. I got it from my family and stuff like that, but it was just, you know, it was a tough time for me because like they were just my, you know, my 2 very close uncles to me. So, and they just, like, one of them had a heart attack and one of them had something wrong with his brain. So, like, that was just, you know, like, I could deal with it because my teammates, they're like my brothers. So, like, Bryce, he was helping me get through it. My sister, my mom, but it was just like some stuff within the program and stuff. Like, it just, you know, it was hard. And I feel like I played a big role in it as well. Like, I could have done better, but I feel like, you know, things could have been handled both ways differently. No hardship, you know, nothing bad. Obviously, you know, I was on social media tweeting and things like that, but I just, you know, after a certain while, you feel disrespected. I can't help but feel how I feel. I played for UNLV for 4 years. I born and raised in Las Vegas. That was my dream, like every kid. So not being able to be honored on senior night and things like that, that's obviously, it hit home. But, you know, I learned from it, grew. I definitely grew as a person, much wiser. And, you know, it's just going to help me for my next destination. Hopefully, you know, when I still have dreams of making it to the NBA. So hopefully, you know, it's just preparing me for that next step.
So you tapped on this as well. I was at the senior night. I texted you.
Yeah.
And I told you, I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't believe that there's no acknowledgement of you whatsoever. Now, I'll just give you my quick thought on it. And I even said it, I think, at the end of the show that we had that one time right after the game that I mentioned it. And I mean, of course, from someone from the outside looking in, I'm not behind closed doors. Again, I appreciate what you are willing to tell us. I don't know what happened there. So I just thought it was messed up. And what I mean by that, regardless of what might have or didn't happen between you and the staff or UNLV, the program, whatever it may be, the university, to not acknowledge you on senior night after you did put in 4 years of your time, the way you played, right, from walk-on to scholarship, triple-double, which means something because that's something that's etched into the program. The win against San Diego State, like you said, the things that you did do for that program, that university, for your city, as you say it, for your city to be able to be on that team and try to create some type of a culture. How did you honestly feel that night when even before I texted you, just that night, knowing that you weren't going to be acknowledged, and then when it truly came to fruition where no mention of you was made that night, how did that make you feel?
I was hurt. Like, it still hurts me to this day. Like, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. Like, and I still, like, I hope the hometown kids, like, I still hope they go to UNLV. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I poured my, you know, I played 4 years there. Like, broke my bones, sweat, you know, like literally blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, and it was just a thing because it was like I was telling my mom I couldn't play, but it was like I still wanted to be there for Bryce, you know. But, you know, I learned from it and got better, so. But it's still, like, it still hurts me to this day. Like, I'll probably take that to my grave, you know what I'm saying? Like, but, I mean, I'm still blessed, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always try to see the bigger picture and everything. And, like, you know, I'm better from it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm stronger now. It's just gonna make me a better person, you know, a better player, and make me even more hungry to get back on the court, you know what I'm saying? Like, so every time I've worked out since then, since I couldn't get on the court with my team, it made me go harder. You know what I'm saying? Made me run that faster, made me shoot that much more shots, made me lift that much harder, just because it's like now I have more pain. On top of my uncles passing away, like, I promised both of them I'd make it to the NBA. So, you know, that's the biggest thing for me, but it's just like my next destination, it's going to make me go harder on the court. You know what I'm saying?
Marvin Coleman, man, giving it to us straight, not holding back. I know that was a tough question, man, but I appreciate that. I appreciate you giving us some of that. I see the emotion pouring out, and I feel you. I've never been a college athlete, but I've had things taken away from me when I work hard, so I totally understand how that feels, my guy. But like I've texted you before, and you and I have talked, you're not alone in this. There's a lot of people that still back you, that still support you, that still are waiting and know that you're going to succeed at a higher level.
For sure.
I look at it this way, and I've said it for years. Baby steps.
For sure.
Everything takes baby steps. You take those baby steps, eventually you will be there, and you will take those giant steps, those giant leaps, man. So I appreciate you being honest with us and letting that out. I know that one was tough, but let's talk about a little bit more about your teammates, right? That relationship, that family. You talk a lot about Bryce. I remember seeing Bryce as a freshman with you as well, and a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's not really going to be that good," and looking to the player that he became. You know what I mean? And then just recently, you were also at an event. We talked about it with your teammates, right? I'm not going to say former. I'm not going to use that. With your teammates. How's that relationship? Even though you weren't really there this whole season.
Well, obviously it was hard. Like, we went at it. I apologize to him. You know, like, brothers, we fight. You know what I'm saying? So we had our disagreements and stuff during the season, but that's what happens, you know, within basketball, within sports, within life. You know, those are my brothers. So at the end of the day, like, any of them, all 4 years I've been here, all of them know that they can call me at any time and I'm going to answer. Like, I talked to David Jenkins earlier. Everybody, like, I'm the most genuine guy you ever meet. And it's like, it's hard because, like, within so much hate, like, just in the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still the same person. I have nothing but love for anybody. So I don't hold grudges. I learned, you have to forgive. Forgiveness is the biggest thing.
Correct.
So when it comes to those relationships, I'll have them forever, because these are like moments and stuff. When I talk to the alumni, I talk to a lot of guys. Like, you have to cherish these years because they don't last forever. So like when all the alumni will come back and talk to us and stuff, like I see the love that they have for each other, especially the Elite Eight. You know what I'm saying? Robert Smith, I've known him since I was younger. Like I still call him coach. His sons, I'm close with them. So when they would come back, Coach Didon, like all of them, like that's literally family. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, even if I transfer, even if I go to the NBA, I am a Runnin Rebel alum at the end of the day. And that I say that with great pride, because there's not a lot of people from the city who can say that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, those are my brothers: Jordan, Keyshawn, Donovan, Vic, David, James, Trey, Bach. Like I can name my whole team, everyone I've played with, because that's who I am. I even talk to guys from my high school, from middle school. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the type of person I am. That's the type of person I'm always going to be. I can only be me, and I can't change for anything. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So you mentioned that you're looking to transfer, right? You entered the transfer.
Look at this guy just taking everything.
Right,
No, I'm just kidding. Messing with you, bro.
So, and we always come in a point in our lives where we have to grow
For sure.
for our career, for a betterment of ourselves. So what are you looking for in your next team? Like where are you, what are you looking to achieve with your next team? And as you said, you were hoping to prepare for the draft. Can you take us through a little bit of that process as well?
Well, obviously,
and just to add to that, that's great. I just want to add to that though. And at the end of that question, are you looking more trying to get to the NBA or possibly transferring to another college?
Obviously my dream is to get to the NBA. So that's, first and foremost. But I'm real with myself. If I'm not ready, if I get feedback that I'm not ready, I have no problem going back to college. But first and foremost, I want to play in the NBA. That's been my dream. So if that opportunity presents itself, I'm going.
Okay.
But regardless if it's the NBA or college, I just want to be able to play and have fun. At the end of the day, I don't care about the money. I mean, obviously that's how I'm going to feed
You're
my
going to get
family.
paid, of course.
Yeah, I feed my family. So that's, obviously that's a big part of it, but I love basketball. Like I watch my little brothers, I watch girls basketball. I play with anyone. Like this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just need a great relationship with the coach, with, the atmosphere of the fans, because that's what I had at UNLV. You know what I'm saying? I'm born and raised. Like, I love the fans at the end of the day, love or hate. You know how the fans are in Vegas. It's a love-hate relationship, but I have nothing but love for them because of who I am and what I stand by. But obviously the biggest thing, I want a great relationship with my mother, a great relationship with my family, and just be able to play. I want to play how I played my sophomore year, have fun with it, have fun with my teammates. And if I do go back to college, I want to play in the NCAA tournament. Obviously, I hope that, UNLV makes it. I feel like we could have made the NCAA tournament this year with the group of guys we had. But obviously my dreams, accolades and stuff, playing the NCAA tournament, playing the NBA, whatever. But so if the NBA presents itself, I'll play in the NBA. If not, I'm going to a school and I will lead them to the NCAA tournament.
Do you have any front runners?
Hold on. Did you hear what he just said to finish that comment? And I will lead them to an NCAA tournament.
He did.
Not, I'm going to go play one more year.
Took ownership.
I'm going to lead them to an NCAA tournament. I love that.
For sure.
Is there any front runners, preferences?
I
don't know if you can say that or not, but
I just don't want to put too much attention on it. Obviously,
so let's not put names, but do you have a few on a list that you can possibly just say?
Can you at least tell us West Coast?
When I hit the portal, like 40 teams call my phone. You know what I'm saying? Like not to be like I'm very humble. I don't like talking about it, but obviously like right now this is a big point in my life, and I just have nothing like I was talking to my mom. Like I feel nothing. Like I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? And that's the weirdest part, because it's like everything that happened this year, like most people would be sad and feel bad for themselves, but like I'm happy. Like it's like, okay, now I'm growing. I graduated. I'm in the grad program for UNLV, so I got my degree. I was the first generational student. My sister and I and like some of my cousins, so that's a huge accomplishment for me. Like for my family, like I was the first one to graduate from college.
Nice.
So
where are you studying, if you don't mind me asking?
I graduated human services degree. And I'm studying urban leadership right now, master's program. So, yeah.
Beyond basketball.
Hold that thought. Let me.
All right.
I got a comment on here, and I got this is good for you because
Okay.
this just shows you that, like I said, people love and support you regardless. Our guy Brian Alamani, he's a big supporter of the show. He's been on the show with us as well. He says that's a learning man right there. Thanks for playing and putting it down for the city. I'm telling you, man. People out there are watching. They're listening. They love you, man. They got respect for you. You know.
Appreciate it.
Now, I go with what you were gonna say because I have a question, but I'm gonna
Beyond basketball, what are your aspirations for your future? I would say.
I put a lot of thought into that right now. I just want to be in a position to help people. You know what I'm saying? Like my freshman year, I wanted to be a coach because obviously I want to stay around the game of basketball. And coaches have helped me throughout the years, form the man who I am today. So, but I honestly, like within mental health and everything, I would be like a counselor, a psychologist, something in terms of helping people because mental health is real and especially within athletes. So I feel like anybody, like even now to this day, I tell people, reach out to me if you need it because sometimes it's just a simple, hey, how are you doing? Hey, do you need to talk? Hey, do you want to go get lunch? So just whatever I do, I just want to be in a position to help people. Obviously, I'm going to make money playing basketball. Yeah. So I'm going to have my money work for me within business. It's something I'm going to invest in my family. And after that, I just, I want to have fun because a lot of people, like basketball does take up a lot of time. So after that, I just want to have a quality of life, be able to have a family, go to my brother's basketball games, have kids, go to their games, have kids, let them, run around my mom's house, stuff like that. My sister actually just had a baby, Kingston. So I'm having a lot of time. Shout out Kingston. He's the king of the world. That's what I tell him all the time.
Nice.
But
she's shaking her head no. By the way, when they said
I know,
she's
like,
nah.
Cause she be like, man, I be telling the world, but I
that.
can only be me. You know what I'm saying? So,
no, I got you.
Yeah, I just want to be in a position to help. You drive around the inner city of Vegas, you see a lot of homeless people. Yeah. Since I was younger, I used to tell my mom, like, one of my dreams is to, like, I was saying this. Mom, how old was I when I was saying that? I don't remember. I would, like, you drive around the city. I'd be like, Mom, like, one day I'm going to, like, pick one of them up and, like, take them. Because been in a barbershop where they're, like, just cutting a homeless person's hair for free because that's what they need. So being able to just hopefully give back to my city, give back to my community anyway. I'm trying to do that right now. I've got some other things in the works. But just being able to in a position to give back for real because, everybody needs it somehow, some way.
So we talk about the city, the community, and all that. So I have a question that I want to ask you, and it does pertain to the UNLV program. Mm-hmm. But I want to get your thoughts on that. But before we do so, we do got to let you guys know who our other sponsor here on the show is. Obviously, it's my personal barber. And it's Evan's personal barber now because Evan's been going to see him and he's got some appointments hooked up with him. But he is none other than Eric Navarro, our personal barber from Line 'em Up by Eric. Okay. If you need a cut, hit him up at 702-884-8138 or on IG at Line 'em Up by Eric. Also, download the Booksy app. Whole lot easier. Book your appointment.
For sure.
Let him know what you want. He's got all his prices on there, beards, trims, fades, whatever you need. He'll hook you up. He's cutting out a 5-star barbershop off of Ann Rose and Simmons. Once again, 702-884-8138. Line 'em Up by Eric. We greatly appreciate you, my guy, for being a sponsor here on the show. And again, everybody listening and watching, if you're a small business owner or just someone that's looking to help promote and sponsor the show, we are looking for sponsors. straightbetsports@outlook.com. Hit us up. Or if not, on any social medias, you see our tags there, DM us. We'll hit you up. We'll give you details. It's very inexpensive. It's not that hard to do. And trust me, you'll be a part of the show, and we greatly appreciate anyone that's looking to do so. Just hit us up. But back to basketball, Marvin, real quick. Just final thing about UNLV. Che Malik.
What is that?
Coach Che Jones, Che Malik. We're talking about
Yeah.
Che, as more people say.
Yeah.
Now, Carlin Hartman is gone. Talked about that. So you know the coaching staff. You know who they are, how they coach, what they bring, what they don't bring. You also know Coach Che Malik as well.
For sure.
Do you feel that he'd be a good candidate to take that spot, and do you feel that he would bring something to the UNLV program?
I feel he's a great basketball mind. I've talked to him multiple times just about situations and, because he had been there, he'd coached and everything like that. I feel he would be, I don't want to say he's top runner, but he'd be a great position for an assistant coaching job. Just because of, his mind and what he does, what he brings to the table. Because I think he did announce a couple games, and after the games and stuff, he would talk to us and stuff. He's nothing but positivity. You know what I'm saying? He's a great guy. And he actually, like a lot of people, like everybody wants to be a coach. Everybody wants to be a critic, but he says real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like he keeps it a buck. And that's you don't see that a lot in college basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are a lot of things that go on behind closed doors and stuff like that, and not even college basketball.
Sports in general. Yeah.
So I mean, the biggest thing for me, he's always kept it real with me, and that's huge. Like, I don't like being lied to. Like, no one does. So I think he would be a great candidate just because of he's a real person. He's done right by me. Now other people might have a different description of him, but he's done right by me. I feel like he would be solid.
So do you think UNLV is back on the right track though?
For sure. I mean, my answer might be biased. I feel like we've been back on the right track since I've been here.
Gotcha.
My freshman year, we were 4th in the conference, tied for 4th. That was tough. Sophomore year, tied for 2nd. Obviously, COVID year was tough, but then this year first of all, I give a shout out to my team. We beat Reno twice. I didn't do that freshman. We beat Reno twice. We went like that. That we won. You know what I'm saying? That was our big shout out to Kruger. You know what I'm saying? Because he played in the Sweet 16. We went to Reno and beat them. Had a tough game. You seen Bryce drop, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even we weren't even in full health. I didn't play. Stretch didn't play a lot, and that's a credit to our coaching staff. Like, what they did this season, what Kruger did this season, is minus myself. We had a tough staff. We had a tough schedule. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, yo, he's a head coach, we're just gonna start him out. That's just like with TJ. Yo, we want all smoke in Las Vegas. Like, we don't duck anything. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's like, it's hard for me to leave. Like, I cried when I entered the portal. Like, bro, I love it. Like, I love playing for my city, but as a person, as a man, I have to grow. I have to take that next step. But UNLV is in the right hands. UNLV is in the right track. Like, I'll never wish anything upon him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have 702 tatted on me. Like, my cousins, people in my family have Runnin' Rebels tatted on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never. UNLV is in the right track for sure.
But see, I love that. He even said it earlier. I'm an alumni no matter what. Yeah. And that's what's up, bro. And that's true. You put your time in, you're there. So I hope that UNLV continues to obviously keep growing and do a lot more. When I first moved here, the fans were a lot different when it comes to UNLV. The fans aren't the same that they used to be back in the day. Obviously, a lot has changed, but you're 4 years here. How would you say what the fan support was?
The biggest thing is there's still fans that are not on Twitter, that are not, like the old fans from 1990s. They're still here.
They're not on social media.
They're not on social media. Like, bro, I'm I'm a grandpa. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead.
Sorry, I used to work with John Flowers, and almost every single day, people would come up and be like, "Hey, you're from the Final Four with UNLV and Runnin' Rebels."
That is
and
real.
every single day they'd ask for pictures. There are a lot of fans that, like you said, like just aren't on Twitter, aren't like
that's why it's like
talking it up, but still
I don't
have
feed
love
into
for the
any
team.
of that stuff because it's like, bro, those might be fake pages, stuff like that. Social media is fake to me. Definitely. Like, if you wouldn't say something to my face, like, why am I gonna think about it on Twitter? Why am I gonna
bullies
for sure? So, but I know, like, I've got nothing but like, there was one incident. I don't want to talk about it, but that's the only incident I've ever had with a UNLV fan that he called me out of my name. Whatever. I just kept walking, but.
This was after a game?
This was recently while I wasn't playing.
Oh, wow.
But that's in the past, but I've got nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? I walk in the grocery store. Hey, like, people, like, my biggest thing is, bro, like, we are people too. Like, obviously, like, sometimes I tell my mom, like, bro, I walk around, girls stare at me. It's like, okay, I like, if I'm cute, whatever, like, cool. But like, men stare at me too. I'm like, yes, I am Marvin Coleman. And say, yes, I did. Like, I would rather you come and ask me to take a picture, come and ask me for an autograph rather than just stare at me. Like, I love the kids. I love doing that stuff.
You're good with interaction.
Yeah. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what, like, is what comes with it. Now, obviously, there's days where I don't, I want to just go in and get out. But I honestly believe this is what you sign up for when you put yourself in the limelight, put yourself in that position. You can't be mad at someone asking you to take a picture. I'll never forget it. I won't tell what NBA player, but I was a 6th grader. We played in the Thomas and Mack at Bob Miller. It was like a little halftime show.
Okay.
We played in the Cox Pavilion, like for 5 minutes or whatever. I forget, but it was during Summer League. And I was going up asking people for autographs. Everyone signed it. Only one player didn't sign it. I'm not gonna say his name, but
call him out.
If I ever get to guard him, I promise I will tell him what he did. But he turned me down an autograph. I went and cried. Not, like, obviously, like, it was just like, yo, I'm looking up to you. I watched you in college. I watched, So that was tough. But like I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Now that I got older, but I told myself I would never be that person because I remember how I felt in 6th grade as a little fat chubby kid asking the NBA, like the courage it took for me to go and ask him for an autograph was a lot. You know what I'm saying? And for him to say no, I remember that to this day. So I will never do that to a kid. I will never, no matter how I'm feeling that day, no matter, it takes 2 seconds to take a picture. It takes 2 seconds to sign an autograph. It takes, you never know what someone's going through. Yeah. So.
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
You never know. Bryce Hamilton.
What about him?
Did he get robbed this year?
What?
Should he have been? That's easy right there. I mean, how does the kid basically murder twice this year?
Bryce is a grown man. Right?
And outplay Roddy, right? He outplays Roddy twice this year, right?
Look.
And then not only that, the game where you guys went on the road and people were out and he beat Wyoming and dropped, 30, 40,
47.
Yeah,
they gave him 40. Bryce Hamilton had 47. Bryce Hamilton, we might as well change his name to Bucket. He does what he does. Like, okay, obviously, I tell him sometimes his shot selection, like, you guys could talk about that. Cool. But he does that. You can't get mad at Bryce for missing a shot.
Yeah.
Bro, Bryce averaged 20-something this year. Bryce averaged 20-something last year. Bryce had 17, 20 consecutive games as a sophomore. Bryce in high school was doing that. It's crazy because I played on the Las Vegas Prospects, right? Okay. UIBL. Bryce played on Belmont or whatever. My teammates were saying, yo, we need Bryce. I'm like, bro, who is Bryce? Like in high school. Because it's like, bro, I'm somebody too. But like, okay, if Bryce
he's from Pasadena, right?
Pasadena. Yeah, he's from LA, bro. We say
from LA.
No, he's from Pasadena. But no, so like Bryce has been doing that. Like it doesn't after he scored 40 or whatever against Colorado State, he called me. He's like, Marv, we were in the gym last night working on that. Like Bryce is very humble. Yeah. He will not like, that's my guy. Like we were literally on the phone this morning after he got done working out. Nice. I got done working out. But bro, me and him, we've been in the gym together 4 years. And not even in the gym. We stayed together in the dorms and at the degree, like we've been going through it for 4 years together. So I will, I'll die for Bryce. That is, ride or die my guy, because it's like, so any negative talk, I don't want to hear it. It's like if I'm in the gym, they're talking about Bryce. Bryce. Oh, okay, yeah. But I think he did what he was supposed to do. Obviously Bryce earned his respect. Like everybody, he earned it. So obviously I think he should have been Player of the Year, but we didn't. We obviously goes to the team that wins. Gotcha. So for him to get the recognition, first team, everything like he even got stubbed last year. He was on second team. So, I take all that stuff personally because I'm a point guard, so I need to make my teammates look better. But at the end of the day, Bryce is his own man. He does what he's supposed to do, and hopefully, he's doing the draft process. I hope, I think he's a first-round pick. But, he's gonna shock a lot of people. He's gonna garner a lot of attention just because of his work ethic and what he does every day. So hopefully he does his thing in his workouts and, gets everything he deserves.
So you say that you think he's a first-round pick. What team is he the best fit for?
Bryce can play anywhere. I obviously everybody knows that he needs to work on his defense.
Lakers, go get him.
Lakers, right? Okay. I mean, he would be in LA next to his family and stuff.
You go home.
It's a blessing to play in the NBA. So whatever team gets Bryce, they're gonna be lucky. You know what I'm saying? No matter, because he's a great locker room guy. He's gonna soak up all the knowledge. But obviously he's hungry. You know what I'm saying? Just like myself, like we're young guys who are ready to hoop. The NBA is wide open right now. LeBron's getting close to retiring. Like you see the young guys. We were talking about Booker, Jason Tatum, Jordan Poole's doing his thing, Anthony Simmons. Like those are guys we've played against. Troy Brown Jr., I hope he gets his shot. Like he's starting to do better. But like those are guys that we played against. Yeah. I'm growing up, idols turn to rivals. Like, definitely. Every time in Vegas, summer leagues out here, and we're sitting there watching them like, yo, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now it's just to the point where we don't fan over those guys. Obviously, we watch them, watch film, and it's like we critique, take little things from them, but that's just like, that's a part of the game. That's the name of the game. You know what I'm saying? We're learning from them just like they learned from guys like Magic, MJ, stuff like that. But at this time, it's time for us to, take that step and take their spots.
Now, so I just want to ask something because we're almost running out of time, but I just wanted to ask real quick. When it comes to trying to get to the league, obviously, for UNLV players, that hasn't been the easiest road, unless you're
For
Anthony
sure.
Bennett and you win number one.
For sure.
The road hasn't been the greatest. But when you see guys like Kim Birch making it, guys like Christian Wood, that Christian Wood was tough on draft day,
sure.
what happened to him. But now getting paid and making it, does that give you more boost? Like, I can also do this.
I mean, I think like I just have pride in myself. It doesn't matter where you come from. You know what I'm saying? You see guys like John Morant at Murray State, like Dame, Weber State. So I really think you just have to have the right situation and really keep, the outside sources out of your head. Like a lot of people, they get caught up in like, oh, I was a McDonald's All-American, I could have did this. They get to college and don't play. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what, I think it's just you have to have the right situation and really trust yourself and trust your work. Like, yo, you can't declare for the NBA draft if you're not the first person doing what you have to do in college.
Correct.
If you're not in the gym getting shots up, how do you expect LeBron to pass you the ball?
Correct.
How do you, like me, like I'm someone at UNLV. How do you expect me to pass you the ball if I'm not in the gym with you? Like Kobe mentality, you know, that's real life when it comes to basketball. Like you look at those guys, you look at those legends, we have to watch that type of film. But I think it doesn't like really, I'm a firm believer, it doesn't matter where you are. If you're good, they're going to find you. If you're a middle school guy, you want to be in high school, they're going to find you. If you're a high school guy, want to get to college, they're going to find you. If you're a college guy trying to get to the NBA, overseas, whatever, you just have to trust your work, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and you'll make it. Hopefully. You know what I'm saying?
So real quick, Chris Wynn, friend of the show, he just said Marvin in the house. He's interested in the number 31, why you chose that as a point guard number.
So 31, that's actually special to me. I was born May 31st. My mother was born August 31st. Obviously, I wore number 22. This is a huge backstory. My first basketball coach, Nick Martinez, he was a great guy. He's still here. He's the first coach to truly believe in me. I started playing basketball when I was 5, but I took it seriously after he, told me like you can be good. He gave me number 23. And that was like, yo, LeBron wears 23.
Yeah.
My MJ wears 23. So I was like, whoa, he actually believes in me, right? So then I'm going through clothes, Sunday cleaning, I lost my jersey. And he was upset, So then I wore number 20. He gave me 22. And I was just like, yo, you can have this one. You need to work for 23 back. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that was my incentive. So I always told myself I won't wear number 23 until I make it to the NBA. So in middle school, I wore 22. Then in high school, Coach Soares, he put me on varsity. He gave me 23 again. Like, that was the only number. I didn't get to pick it. And I was like, Coach, I don't want to wear that. Like, I didn't give him the whole backstory. But then there was 45 or 31. And my mom always wanted me to wear number 31. So I was like, okay, I'll take it. So then, boom, high school, I wore 31. In college, I wore 31. So it's just like, I wear it for my mom, really. And 3 + 1 = 4. I always say all for my 4. Just little stuff like that, little reminders that athletes we do. So honestly, I wear it for my mom.
There we go, man. We're at the end of the show already. Like I said, time flies when we're having fun. But Marvin, we greatly appreciate you coming to the studio and doing this with us tonight, my man. Let everyone know where they can find you on all things social media or whatever handles you're using.
You can find me everywhere. M Coleman, 3 N's, 22. You know what to do. I've had that forever. So I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I don't really go on social media much. So fans, if you send me a DM or anything, I'll try to get you as soon as I can. I promise I'm a nice guy. I'll respond, things like that. But please keep it positive. Please, just make sure at the end of the day, I am a person as well. So if you wouldn't want me saying it to you, please don't say it to me. Jose, my man, I appreciate you guys for having me here.
Yes, sir.
Nothing but love for the city. I mean, what you do for the city and everything like that, I appreciate it. Like I said, I was here sophomore year, so whenever you want me here, if I'm in town, if I'm ready, I got you, bro.
Appreciate you again, my man. Best of luck and continued success with everything in your life, not just basketball. We know you'll be all right and you're going to make it. Thank you again for coming in studio. Moms, thank you for hanging out with us in studio as well, behind the scenes. Evan, thank you so much for being in the studio, taking pictures. Quan, for you, what you do every single night. But is Quan going to play the song for me to end it out tonight? Because Quan said he was going to do it last week.
What song you got for us?
It's a little tune that we like to play to give out my final thought. But I don't think Quan's going to play it tonight. He forgot about it. But it's all good. But look, man, my final thought as I give out every single week here at the end of the show, we're just going to go with this. Brett, what's up, my guy? How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Once again, I hit you up. I don't know if your email's not working. It's all good. Phone must be tripping as well. Go check out your cell phone provider. They might be able to take care of that for you. But just one thing. You taking credit for the light success right now is like me taking credit when I hire someone from a staffing agency and they do good and I take credit for that. I didn't hire them. I hired someone else to hire them. I didn't do the job. It's all good though, my guy. Still appreciate you. We'll talk soon. Till then, for Marvin, Coleman, EMB, Quan59, Jose V, Evan Guerra, Drumline EV, we'll catch you next week. There it is. Peace.
Later.
That's the song right there?
Yeah.
Yes,